Hey everybody, it's Wednesday night and it's time for Super Geeked Up. All right, hey everybody, my name is Jeff. Welcome to Super Geeked Up. This is your live geeky pop culture show. We're going to talk some fun geeky topics, play geek-themed improv games. It's all geeky stuff. Thank you for being here. Bunch of people already in the chat. Thanks, guys. Thank you if you're watching in post. I'm joined as always by my co-host, Fernandez.
It's currently 71 degrees at 3,000 feet. Please make sure that make sure that all of your electronics are turned off while we hit.
Okay. Please don't do that because then you can't watch our show. This is terrible advice.
Well, Victor put me in that direction. I'll just tell you that right now.
I see. Yes. There I see the Victor's chat there. Yes, we also have Josh, who's kind of referencing the poll I'll get to in a minute. And we got Pierre and Lister's Mate are here as well. Thanks, guys, for watching. We are joined from one of I would say kind of an old school SGUer way back in the day. Coming back, but a new book, a YA book out. We're going to talk about a little later. It is Kaedyn Nedopak. Welcome.
Hello. Yes, Jeff and I used to do this in person at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. So I don't know if anybody remember me from that, but we had some good times, didn't we?
We did. So it's kind of through the web series world, as I believe, and Comic-Con. Yes, how we met.
I was just telling Francis that we were missing Francis, though. He would have been there. Hanging out.
But we did.
How long ago was it? You make it seem like it was forever ago.
It was forever ago. I don't know, like.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Not that long, maybe.
It wasn't. Okay, I moved
probably.
Here
it might be 8 years at least, though, right?
Yeah, I moved in 2019, so it's got to be like 7 or 8 years. Yeah, but I mean, we've known each other for a long time.
But Francis, we did WonderCon, your favorite con, together. Kaedyn joined me for that for SGU.
WonderCon. Oh, that's nice. I love WonderCon. That's my favorite of all the conventions. That's my favorite.
WonderCon's fun. I really did love WonderCon too. You know what? It's accessible. It's doable. It's not so insane, and you don't have to go through a lottery to find a place to live. That's the best part. Comic-Con, right. It's like, how do I get remotely close to this convention center? And it was always a matter of.
Hello, Delaney. Delaney's one of our off guests here on the show.
Yay.
Luckily, I never had to worry about it. Living close to Anaheim. I'm like, whatever. Just walk there.
But also more like reference what Kaedyn's referencing, folks. In San Diego Comic-Con, you have to go into a hotel lottery to try to get a hotel.
Yeah, they take up all the hotels, but then you can take the train right to WonderCon and just hop off, and you're there for the day. Yeah. It's the best.
Yes. All right. Who else? Oh, Carrie just joined us. Okay. Well, first off, let me tell you the poll, folks. We always do a poll nowadays. Which is on the YouTube chat there. And this question is, which is near and dear to my heart, because this is when I grew up as a kid. What's your the best 80s cartoon? I can only put 4 choices, and I'm just always going to say that because people always ask me, why didn't you put this one in? G.I. Joe, Transformers, He-Man, and Thundercats are the ones I put in there. Transformers is in the lead, 50% of the vote. He-Man second, G.I. Joe third. Now, Thundercats is currently getting no love. It's early, though. Hopefully it'll get some votes because I think I loved all those cartoons that I put up there. But Carrie says, we know which cartoons have the best shared universe: Thundercats, Silverhawks, and Tiger Sharks. Wait, were they actually
mentioning Voltron? Is there no love for Voltron?
No, come on, I wasn't thinking
Am I old?
No, I love Voltron. I just wasn't thinking of it when I came up with the poll real fast.
Oh yes, that was
Voltron would have been a great choice too.
Oh, that was like my favorite. I still have the old Voltron toy. Like, the original.
The 5 lions that go together.
Yeah, like I think that's probably worth a lot of money, and I'm keeping it. It's in my garage somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's worth something.
So I need rent for a few months. I might be selling it, but I don't know if I could.
Why not?
You should keep it. Yeah. Lister's Mate tells us, okay, he thinks it was about 8 years ago because he's been around for 10 years. So all right, 8 years sounds about right. Okay. That sounds about right. Yeah. All right. So anyway, here we got, what do we got for you folks? We're going to do super amazing acronyms and superhero experts. Those are the games we're going to do later on. We're going to talk to Kaedyn, of course, about Kickstarter, their Kickstarter book, which is already way overfunded. So we'll talk more about that.
You can never be overfunded.
Sorry, that's the wrong term. Not overfunded. Sorry, it's terrible.
Just funded enough.
You went beyond the goal, way beyond the goal. I should say that way. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, we gotta look at this comment here. Voltron comment. Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna be clear. It's the Lions Voltron. Was there a Cars Voltron? That does not exist in my world.
See, I actually remember liking that one too, but it's been so long, I watched the Lions one way more often. But yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
the only problem with the car one is there were 30 of them.
yeah.
there's a
And
lot
it
of
was
cars.
it
Yeah,
was
but
too
they were
much like
smaller.
Transformers. Like,
Yeah.
just pick. Are we lions? Are we cars? What's happening here? What's the universe?
Lions are cars. Well,
I mean, I'd prefer to be a lion any day.
Yes, I mean Lion's much cooler.
Yeah, yeah.
Robotech, we got to vote Victor. Yeah, Robotech, that was cool
That's a good
too.
one.
Absolutely.
maybe it's really just Rob.
Rob Tech, I love Rob Tech.
That's kind of what I thought it was. I was
Maybe it's just
wondering.
Rob.
It's like the competitor to Stark Industries, but much worse.
Rob Tech.
Rob.
Like Rob Tech.
Then it
It's
would
like
be.
it's like
then it would be-
the Radio Shack version of
Wow.
then it would be Bob Tech.
yeah. Okay.
Bob Tech.
like no creativity put into that one. My name's Bob, and I run a tech company.
That's all you need.
That's right. You know what you're getting.
Names are complicated now. Might as well just make
know,
it
I
simple. Bob Tech.
I mean, Robert Bob, it's the same, but like, come on.
All right. Before we get to all that, let's do the first geeky question of the night.
which has nothing to do with 80s cartoons.
Yeah.
No,
Oh no.
but Francis says that.
But it goes further back in time because Kaedyn's book, Charlie's Song, Storm of Desolation, is set in a reimagined 19th century Victorian era. So we want to know, what's your favorite book, show, or movie set in the Victorian period?
Oh my gosh.
Tell us in the chat, folks, or if you're watching post in the comments. But yes, Kaedyn, we'll start with you since you're the guest.
Yeah. Gosh, I read so many history books during that era. I don't know if I'm going to get the era right, okay? But this is definitely one of my favorite historical books of all time. And I'm going to be cheesy and say it's Pride and Prejudice. And literally every movie version I've ever seen of that I love, including the zombie version. No, but my book was initially really inspired by that story. At first I
all right.
started making it like more of a historical, and then I was like, no, it's got to have more fantasy, more magic in it. And so it's got a lot more, it got a lot more witchy. It's like if Jane Austen was like a fierce nature witch. that's basically what I'm writing.
Oh, that's
But,
cool.
I love those books. Gosh, I'm trying to think of Byron.
Well,
I mean, there's so many good ones out there.
Tammy agrees with you. Pride and
Yes,
Prejudice.
you can't go wrong with Darcy. In fact, I actually, in my Kickstarter, and I took it out, the very first time I put a meme of Darcy in there, him saying like, oh my gosh, what's that line? Oh, you're gonna tell me what it is. Chat room. I'm spacing on it, but anyway, he's got that famous love line.
Yeah,
And,
tell us, Jack, if you could think of it. 'cause
I
I haven't
actually
read it, so
had
I don't
that
know.
meme in the Kickstarter, and then it didn't fit, and I was like, oh, I'm so sad to take it out. Come on, people. Who doesn't love that?
I've never seen it, so
I haven't read it or seen it.
Or read the
either.
book. The book,
Or
yeah,
read it,
the book's way
yeah.
different.
yeah.
Let's see here. But Carrie says Bob Tech is what two Bobs from Office Space started. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the guys.
That's a
yeah,
good
Bob,
movie.
yeah.
That's a good movie. Another one of my favorite movies of all time.
Carrie says to this question, Miss Scarlet and the Duke, Bridgerton, as for the Victorian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I haven't read Bridgerton, but I'm gonna admit I love the show. It's so much fun. So I haven't read the books though.
Everyone loves that show.
Yeah.
A show I love, and Delaney was just in the show as an extra a couple weeks ago.
that's
Gilded
right.
Age. Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love that show too. As anything historical, I will watch, even though sometimes
they shoot that in my area. For part of
Oh
it.
no!
Yeah.
Well, of course they do because it takes place in New York. I'm waiting for the next season. Like that show really hooked me, and now they well, I don't want to ruin it. Okay, that thing happened at the end of the second season. And I'm like, you can end there, and I binged it.
We probably have a year wait, unfortunately, because they're shooting right now.
Yeah. I mean, are we talking movies? Are we talking books?
It could be anything: books, movie shows, whatever.
Oh
you
my
want.
gosh! Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Oh yeah, everything in the Victorian period. Yeah. Mhm.
everything.
Victor says Tarzan stories. I guess that's true. That did take place.
That's
in that
true.
era.
Yeah, because Jane was in the Victorian era. Yep. I mean, you kind of
choice,
forget
Victor.
because she immediately goes into the woods
Right.
or
Yeah, I
the
like it,
jungle.
Victor.
Sorry, the jungle.
I think I'm gonna go with I guess one of the little classics. I'm just gonna say Dracula.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. That is one of my favorite books of all time. I
Yeah,
can't
I
believe I
love
didn't think of that.
It's a great book.
It is a great book, and they can never make a movie version that I think is acceptable. to the books.
No, none of them. None of them are acceptable.
No, it's just they cheese it up. They always cheese it up, and the books are so simple and great, and they're not about like that they made that movie and they made it super sexual, and I was just like, oh my god,
You mean
stop.
Bram Stoker's?
Yeah, the Bram
Coppola's one.
Stoker. I was like,
Yeah.
come on, and then some of the older ones, Dracula is always like a little, but I don't know. I love that book so much. I read it like so many times.
Oh yeah, I read it as a teen. It's awesome.
Now
Of course,
this isn't
Francis
Victorian.
loves. Where'd he go?
Oh no, I
Sorry.
was gonna say this isn't Victorian era, but my all-time favorite book is The Count of Monte Cristo. So if anybody else
Oh.
read that book, it's like,
Well,
So I
Oh.
love that movie so much, but I haven't read the book actually. But the
oh my
movie
god,
is
the book
amazing.
is so good, and I'm waiting again for a movie adaptation that's even remotely close.
Oh come on!
And
You
they're
didn't? No, you didn't
coming-
like the early 2000s one
The
with
new-
Jim Caviezel?
No, it's so different. It doesn't even come close to. I mean, the book's like 1,400 pages. It's insane. And
Jeez.
now they've got a new. I think it's the Count of Monte Cristo 2024 or whatever coming out sometime. It's coming out in Europe first, and I think it was made in France. So I have much more confidence that it's not an
Mm.
American movie, that they're actually going to play it up. And I saw the trailer, and it's phenomenal looking, and I think it's like 3 hours long. So I think they're going to do it justice.
Oh damn!
Yeah. I'm excited for
Me
that.
too. I've actually been by the Chateau d'If where it was supposed to take place off the coast of Marseille. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I'm sorry, Francis. Were you going to interject something?
it's my favorite sandwich.
The Earl sandwich?
The
Or
Monte Cristo.
Oh, the Monte Cristo is. I've seen you eat one.
Wait, what's in the Monte Cristo? I can't remember.
It's ham, turkey. I don't know. The thing is, it's deep fried twice. So it's fried once, deep fried again in egg, and then topped with powdered sugar and, of course, a slather of jam right on top.
That sounds
for your
amazing. And now
your
I'm hungry. Thanks.
your
Francis.
greasiest sandwich ever. But Monte Cristo is excellent.
All right.
Yeah, but-
You want to read the line that Tammy gives you from Darcy, I believe?
No, I was gonna have you read it. In
No,
your
I
best
mean
British accent.
Kaedyn. I was going to have Kaedyn read it.
Oh, okay. No, but it is the yes, I love this. In vain I have struggled. It will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. But I'm talking about the end line of like, you have bewitched me, body and soul. Thank you. That's the line I was thinking of.
Oh, I
This
thought it
is
was.
I
Frankly,
think
my
that
dear, I
this
don't give
other
a damn.
line was an earlier.
That's a Blanca.
Yeah.
Oh,
I say that all the time to people. You bewitched me, body and soul.
That is
very
great.
good.
But though, Tammy, the one you said was too. I mean, like, how do you resist someone who says you must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you?
Well, you
Jeez.
can't say it in an American accent. You have to
No,
say it in a
no.
British
You
accent.
have to say in a British accent, but here's the thing: is that he was, rude to Elizabeth and her family. So, like after that, she was kind of turned off by it. So, kind of took a while for her to come back
Oh.
around.
Even if it's Colin Firth.
I mean, I think it really could be anybody. It's,
Mm.
it was that era where, Elizabeth or Lizzie Bennet, I should say, was turned off by how stuffed up these nobility gents were. So, it wasn't really a turn on.
Was she nobility or no?
Yeah.
Was she nobility or not?
No, well, no. Her family, what it was her father was like I mean, not nobility, but like lower class, but not low class, if you know what I'm saying. And so it was definitely it would have been a large step down for Darcy to marry her, and that was the whole contention. Is that there's a lot of that class drama in there.
Wow, Keira Knightley really likes playing characters named Elizabeth.
I
Yep.
know,
Elizabeth
right?
Swan.
And
This
she
is
just
one,
keeps
yeah.
she just keeps getting all the historical roles.
She's got a classic look.
Carrie says there was an
Ooh.
episode of DC's Legends of Tomorrow where they went to Victorian era London looking for a time-traveling vampire. And yeah, I know that description sounds like a fever dream.
Actually, that
Legends of
sounds like-
Tomorrow did all the nutty stuff. So yeah.
That actually sounds like a book I would read.
Yeah.
Like vampires in the Victorian era. Yes, please.
You're gonna have to write it.
Yeah, I know. I actually have been thinking, after this is a trilogy and I'm only on book one, it's going to take me a while to finish it. But I have been thinking, I love, as a queer trans person, I love taking stories and like, incorporating these characters. And I did think about Dracula and I was like, wow, I really want a trans queer vampire story. I don't know what it's going to look like yet, but might take place in the Victorian age. You know, I've already done all the research. Mine as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Victor, the answer to this question is yes. Sherlock Holmes is absolutely in the Victorian era. He's basically contemporary to Dracula, really.
But later Victorian era, I believe, because I remember in my story
It's
takes
like
place
1880s, 90s.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
1890s.
Yeah, my story takes place in 1848 during the Age of Revolution. So this was an era where France revolted for the second time, and you know, all of Europe was going crazy. And I remember looking up what books were available because my characters are constantly talking about books. And then, and all the ones I wanted, I was like, oh, bummer, that one's not available until many years later. And one of them was Sherlock Holmes. Like, that definitely came later, but those are great stories.
The Great Mouse Detective is a great movie of that Victorian era, Tammy says.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that either.
Oh, good.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Apparently, Darcy says what? Despite your mother, your sisters, and your father being low class.
Yes, exactly. Just insulting.
What a charmer.
Yes. And yet they ended up together because, you know, movies, books. Well,
books. I was going to say books. Yeah.
Romance. But, you know, that's the thing. Jane Austen lived in that era. So when she's writing it, it's so accurate, right? So it's really hard to write in the era that you don't live in.
Oh, that makes sense, actually. Yeah.
So a lot of her stories, it's like she's living in this era. She's writing about, and she was also upper class, so not nobility, I don't believe, but yeah. So she went to all the balls. She had all these conversations, which I think is what makes that an even better book because of it.
Nice. Licious May also votes for Sherlock Holmes. Nice. I should have actually chosen. I don't know why I just chose that. Those are some of my favorite books of all time, the Holmes books. But
yeah, Dracula's pretty good.
Yeah,
Dracula's great too. Yes. What do you got a choice, Francis? I don't know if we got your choice yet. As he sips his coffee.
I mean, you asked me when I'm doing this, so I might as well get the sip in before I reply, at least.
Hello, Johnny. Johnny's here. We'll wave back to you, sir. We're talking favorite Victorian era books.
Bring another one before he says something.
Oh my God! Would you just give it? He just tried to stall.
No. No, it's the one that nobody seems to talk about because it is the best depiction of the era.
Oh no.
Has probably the best icons of that era.
Wait, give us a hint so we can guess.
Everyone, it's a film, and everyone in this film is a known entity, someone who is notorious in that Victorian era. And they come together to solve problems and potentially
Bill and Ted.
No,
they don't even travel. They don't travel to Victoria.
There's no time. There's no time travel in this. Okay, there's no time travel.
It's actually set in the time Victorian.
It's of the era. Yes, it's of the era. And it's just it's just a bunch of the and some of them are
the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I would not have said that. That's great.
They are. It's everyone.
Yeah,
who could be in that?
You're
era.
right. That is a ton of different literary characters. All
is Nemo Victorian? I don't know if Nemo's Victorian.
It was written in that time period.
I guess so. So you got So there you go, and you have
Quatermain.
You have Quatermain. Alan.
You have
Quatermain.
Mina Harker, right?
Yeah. You have the Invisible Man. You have the guy with the painting, whose name I don't know.
Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray.
The
guy with the painting.
Immediately, we know who that
I can't
is.
remember. I can't.
And you, the guy with the painting, you come along too.
And a 8-wheeled sedan car. Yeah, they had a car in the movie.
Was it a special car?
Have you seen League of Extraordinary?
Yeah, I don't remember though. It's been a long time.
There's a scene where they're driving through London in this gigantic like Rolls Royce with 3 wheels in the front, and it has like spikes, and yeah, it's really dumb. But I mean, it was a dumb movie, but it still has everyone, and it's great. It's fun. It's a fun.
But it has the potential to be a good series. If they try to do that again,
it's better comic than it is a movie, I guess.
I think we should do a TV series out of it. That would be good.
Yeah, maybe one day. One day.
All right, Michael's lurking here. Welcome, Michael. You can lurk. It's cool. Okay, Tammy knew what you were talking about.
Yeah,
you're lurking, but we're gonna go ahead and put you on screen so everybody knows you're lurking.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, I gotta see Michael's little profile picture. Okay.
Oh,
okay. I thought I was like,
don't
I
know.
thought
I
it was
don't know who it
Arcane
is.
for a minute. I was like,
It
who's
might.
that?
I don't know. It might be from RPG. He does a lot of RPGs. I don't know.
Yeah, love it.
Victor likes Robert Downey Jr. in the 2 Sherlock Holmes movies. So I do not like those movies, but I know a lot of people did, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And I tend to quote Jareth. Is that the Goblin King? Is that who that is?
That is legit right there.
Yeah.
I like this He-Man. I think we have the same taste. Oh, Jareth. Jareth was like my crush growing up. Everybody's like, how did you know that you were, not a girl or whatever? People ask me, and I'm like, Jareth. Or people talk about like men can't have long hair, and I'm like, have you watched Labyrinth anytime? Have you listened to rock and roll? Come on. But yes,
Hair metal. I mean, that's a whole thing.
exactly.
Long hair.
I grew up
purple
in that
pants.
era, and I'm like, everyone had long hair. That's what I grew up with, is men in makeup and long hair. Come on, it's still a look.
Johnny says Madame Vastra from Doctor Who. I don't know who you know.
It's lizard woman with a human wife.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Like
But they're only Victorian era. They only stay
like
there.
a humanoid lizard person.
Humanoid lizard. Yeah, they're the first people of Earth, technically, I think.
Oh.
You'll have to correct me on that one, Johnny. But the Doctor Who lore, they're the first people of Earth.
No, that's also like a Voyager episode.
No, they turn into. Oh, they devolve.
Dinosaurs. Yeah,
They
yeah.
devolve. That's right.
Let's see. Carrie says there was a Marvel's What If episode in the Victorian era. Pretty good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yes, there was. Yeah.
Now you notice an interesting trend here. So my novels actually take place off the coast of like Russia, Asia, but it's the Victorian era because everyone in that time, Great Britain had conquered 25% of the world, and I should say colonized 25% of the world, and so everyone knows what the Victorian era is, right? But it actually doesn't take place in Britain, and I want to make this book series into an animated series. And my number one rule is no British accents. Like, it does not take place in Great Britain. It is not a Victorian era in the UK. It is set somewhere else with a lot of non-white people. So it's like, there will be no British accents. And you know why I say that? Because I'm Ukrainian, I'm Polish, I'm super Slavic, and I consistently watch movies that take place in other countries, France, or, you're watching The Count of Monte Cristo and everyone has a British accent and it takes place in France. You're watching The Great and it's about, very famous Russian czars, and you are listening to a British accent, and it drives me bonkers. I was like, if they are not in the UK, why do they have a British accent? And it's the stupidest thing I think America does.
It's the British. They do it. Chernobyl was like all British actors too. Like,
that's what, it'll take place in like China and everyone have British accent. And I'm like, I'm not understanding what's happening here.
I've railed on the show about this. Yes, I'm totally with you. It's
so my gosh, it drives me crazy. So I was like, this does not take place in Great Britain. Therefore, nobody can have British accent. In fact, it's kind of off the coast of Russia. And so I was like, I want this mixed accent. It's my own imaginary islands during a real time, so I can kind of make that decision, right?
Well, they would speak whatever native tongue, right? And they'll just be subtitles.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, in a animated series, I'm sure it'll be English and or translated into other languages, hopefully. But I'm hoping that the actors have like, I kind of want more of a, like just a different accent. I'm not really sure which one yet, but it would not be British.
Cool. Good. Johnny says, you nailed it, Francis, on the Doctor Who thing. They were the first advanced civilization on Earth, and she lives in the Victorian era as a detective about Vastra.
Okay. Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a few years since I've seen it. So
the Russian nobles spoke French, and many didn't even speak Russian.
Exactly. And you know why? Because they were obsessed with France. They are obsessed with France so hardcore. So in my novels, they're constantly talking about France. They're all like the French court and what the French do, and everything that the French do to these people is like, the best thing ever, which, I personally during that era would probably love France too, because there were so many more freedoms there than in Russia or in Great Britain. But yeah, that is true. I love that.
All right. Awesome. Good job, Tammy. All right. So I guess I think we got a lot of good choices there for Victorian eras, but you can keep putting them in the chat if you want or in the comments. Well, let's go on to our first geeky game. This is called Super Amazing Acronyms. Oh, so you know what we know, folks. You start putting in your acronyms in the chat. So made up acronyms, any kind of combination of letters, scuba, CIA, but just come up with like ones that aren't kind of new ones, like just ones you make up. And then we are going to have to, I'm trying to think what France is doing over there. Anyway,
my allergies are
I'm
acting
sorry.
up.
I thought maybe you were doing a secret or something.
No. My allergies.
I'm the same. I'm busy coughing over here.
Yeah, I'm trying not to sneeze.
And we're going to do a scene where we have to take those acronyms you give us and come up with what they supposedly mean. Actually, first, I'm sorry, give us a scene. Where are we? Give us a location, or give us that first, and then you can start throwing in some acronyms into the chat.
You're right. You're right about the picture.
What? From Michael? Oh,
Mhm.
A role-playing game source
Love
book.
it.
Yes. Oh, I was right. Okay, good. Yeah, I know he really likes RPGs.
Dramatically walking away from Fireball.
Oh God, Hakta, no.
Well, that's the acronym.
Oh, that's the.
I studied some Russian post high school. Barely remember any of it. Okay, that's cool, Tammy. So give us like where are we? Just give us a location to start. Okay, here we go. UFO crash site in Ohio.
And you know why, Tammy? Because you were in a hurry.
Oh God, Francis.
Can't rush
that's
this.
That's why she couldn't study Russian.
She was always Russian. What do you want?
All right. So the three of us are at a UFO crash site in Ohio. Now you can start throwing in a bunch of acronyms, folks.
And Tammy gave something that's parallel, so I can do that too.
Yes. Which actually just last week they did the first commercial space walk kind of deal there, which is successful. All right, give us a bunch of acronyms, folks. We need a bunch to do the scene here. There we go. Thank you, Victor and Carrier. They got a right idea, but throw them in there because we'll need a bunch. And then we're gonna keep. I'll start, then we'll go Francis, then Kaedyn, and we'll keep going around. Where we'll throw an acronym to the next person, and they will say what that name is, and then they'll throw another acronym to the following person, and that's how it works.
And around we go. Where it'll stop? Well, Jeff will know.
We know.
Jeff will know.
Jeff
knows. None of us knows, but Jeff knows.
Hey, as long as I don't have to do
Haktua. I only found out what that was like 2 weeks ago. I refused to look it up for the longest time. And I finally did.
Well, you're not watching Talk Tua?
What?
The lady who said that on the interview has a podcast called Talk Tua.
Oh my gosh!
Did she get a podcast?
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, funded and funded by Logan Paul, our favorite boxer guy.
Oh, that's the guy. Now, he's a podcast guy or a boxer or both?
He's a YouTuber.
He's a boxer too, or
he took up boxing. Yeah, I hate that I know all this stuff, but yes, he took up boxing. He's supposed to fight Mike. I believe he's the one that's supposed to fight Mike Tyson.
Oh, that's right.
I think he's the one that's supposed to fight Mike Tyson.
So, but he's not like he wasn't originally a boxer. He just decided I'm going to become a boxer.
No, he is the worst human being on earth.
Jesus.
He used to throw stuff at the Japanese and like
stuff at the Japanese. What do you mean? He would go to Japan?
So he went to Japan. I think it's him. It might be the brother, but he went to Japan and started throwing Pokeballs at Japanese natives, hoping to capture them in Pokeballs.
So stupid.
Yeah, well, and his biggest, I won't mention his biggest.
Let's forget it. We don't have to talk about him. Forget it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We got lots of acronyms now. Thank you. Keep putting them in though, folks. Oh, we got a Darcy one. That's cool. All right, so the three of us are at a UFO, crash site in Ohio. All right. So I'll kick us off here. This is super amazing acronyms. All right. Oh my God, Francis, Kaedyn, we finally are about to see a real UFO. I think. Did you see it crash down over there, Francis? Oh my God, I hope we see a spacey boy.
What you mean?
I gave you a hard one off the bat.
God, you mean spatial parallel, anthropomorphic, crab, yo-yo type, ballistic, ocular individual, one of those aliens.
That's exactly what I mean.
I want you to repeat everything I just said, Jeff, because I can't remember what I said about Spacey Boy.
Oh my gosh.
But
It was
you know
there was a
what?
yo-yo involved and an ocular or something.
It's an individual of alien type from space. That's all we know. Well, luckily we have Kaedyn here, who is an expert at alien biology. I know that you are going to implement your famous Darcy technique. I know it.
Oh, is Darcy in there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you so much, Francis. I've never seen an alien like this before. It is insane. It is so dimensional. It's an anomaly. And I think it might be a robot, but potentially a comet that yo-yo down here from another planet.
As comments often do.
Whoa, that was a hard one. Jeez. What did I just say? I'm not sure. Has anybody written? Who is taking notes? Who is our scribe?
I like that Kaedyn and I have given you information, Jeff, our head scientist, and we cannot tell you anything else. We cannot repeat what he said, but you will
We're
have to
still figuring this
Yes.
out.
you'll have to tell us more.
Well, that's what I get when I bring the interns. All right. So you got to give me an acronym.
Oh yes. And yes, Jeff. So I would love to know about your theory on the RuPaul.
I'm trying to find that. I don't know.
Further.
I found it. Thank you. Yes. I'm glad you asked about the RuPaul. This is my favorite theory to discuss, actually. Now listen closely so you don't forget, like you did the things you told me. All right.
Don't go back and forth. There better not be a yo. We've done 2 yo-yos so far. Can't be a yo-yo.
Well, there's no wine here.
Oh yeah. Well, still.
Okay. So the RuPaul is a radical, undulating person attacking udders by licking. So so you see, if there's like alien cows, this person is ideal because they can lick the udders and get all the milk out. Now, I don't know if these aliens are cows yet, but Francis, I think we better do a more thorough investigation of this alien here. So listen, let's get Pink Pony.
I hate all of you.
Well, I actually was going to do a longer one at first. So.
Yeah. Well, this space bovine is definitely a powerfully. It's a powerfully inverted, naked, kind of punk-looking. Obviously, not a yo-yo.
Why did I bring the guy whose specialty was yo-yos?
Well, this was not one, so therefore
Touché.
I know.
Touché.
I know at least this is not one of those. We can all relax. It's okay. It is bovine in nature. I do believe there are udders that we can lick. So
good.
But I'm not willing to go closer. So, Kaedyn, I think you're gonna have to go closer, and you're gonna probably have to snarf it. You're gonna have to probably snarf this thing.
Well, it's really interesting that you asked for snarfing because my little cat likes to snarf all the time. It's like this weird noise.
Oh. Oh yeah. I know the noise.
So,
I make that noise.
and snarfing is actually a, you know what it is? It is a scientific, neurological alien research feeling that I have. You know, research can be emotions and feeling, but there's a lot going on. And so as I get closer, I'm really tapping into this thing's brain. I can feel it. It's
good.
alien, but it snarfs like my cat.
Oh,
Black and it's got ears, so I'm confused. Is it a cat? Is there an alien planet of cats, Jeff? This is what I want to know. And I would love to know, what do you think of it? Is it an Optimus?
Well, it might be an Optimus. If only the pussy
well, there was a cat involved.
cat, meaning cat,
Yeah,
meaning
meaning cat.
cat.
There's a cat involved. That's
If only
true.
the pussy tail, the pussy's tail. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Makes sense. Yes.
Included the maximum umbrella system, because you see what these alien cats can do. Their tails can create an umbrella over them, which protects them from harm. It's like this armored umbrella. These are very cool alien cats.
Half cat, half cow. Interesting.
Yes.
Cat cows.
It's right. It's the feline bovine alien.
The feline bow. Oh.
The Phoebo. The Phoebo.
The Phoebo. That makes sense.
I just coined that. Anyway, all right, Francis.
Gotta do acronym, people.
Yeah,
Phoebo
listen,
loves
Francis.
you.
I think we got to wrap this up.
All right.
So let's
do what
I
was
think
made
the only way to do is we got to just like on when you call Uncle Jesse, we got to Stamos it.
I'm so glad. I was hoping somebody would pick that.
Well, of course, we have to sometimes tickle anatomies made of sexiness, which is their reproductive organs. We have to tickle it sometimes in order to truly understand these creatures.
Oh my God, Francis, it worked. They are communicating with us now, and they want to come with us and help us. That's great. Good job, Francis. They're tickling.
Good job, team.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Yes, we've first contact with the feline bovines.
That snarfs like my little kitty.
No.
His name is Jedi, so that's appropriate.
With all these, Carrie said during that scene, with all these science yo-yos in Ohio, the prospect for danger is up and down, right?
That's true.
Yeah, we
go back and forth.
Maybe they're like snakes and get info from licking. Oh, snakes do that, don't they? Yeah.
They did have to lick an udder.
Should be a good
There's
trait.
a licking country in Ohio. Oh, okay. So Ohio's licking country? That's good to know.
Now, is it called licking, or is it a place where people are professional lickers? Now I need to know this. Google, look it up.
I think Victor's in Ohio, so he probably knows.
Victor, we need more information on this. This could be a future book.
Hello, Travis Mitchell is here. Okay. Oh, he's a 27-year-old who went back to watch some of these shows. I think he's talking about our poll. I think Mask is better than all of these. I loved Mask, so I won't argue with you, man. Like, Mask is a great choice as well.
I forgot that does take place in the Victorian era. Huh.
Oh, I mean, that's the 80s cartoons I think he's talking about.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't. What am I
Mask was the
of?
one that they had all these different vehicles. Each person, like each agent had their own special vehicle that did like special things.
And yes, Travis, lickers are the nasty dogs in Resident Evil.
They are. Oh, they're actually they're big. They're creatures. They're actually really ferocious. Those lickers. You gotta watch out for them.
Well, because they're dogs. I mean, the cool aliens are cats. Clearly,
Right.
Cats and cows.
And cows.
Cats and cows.
Well, which is actually a like a yoga type pose.
Oh, there is a Licking,
cow.
Ohio. There we go.
Well, this is where that took place, Licking, Ohio.
That's where we were. We were in Licking, Ohio.
Because since they like being licked, the aliens, they saw Licking, Ohio on the map. They're like, well, we got to go there.
Exactly. I mean, why not? They don't know. They don't know how crazy we are here in names.
There you go. Josh, which is Francis co-host on Points of Interest podcast, says Mask was awesome. Great toys. Yes, the toys for all those cartoons were the best, man. Like you said, like the Voltron ones you had.
Oh my God. All right, who's your favorite Voltron character? I'll go first, Lance.
Which was that?
He was the smartass. He's like the Han Solo, of the group, like kind of smartass.
Is he the red?
Never serious. Blue.
Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute.
I think
wait.
Lance was blue, right?
I mean, there's a blue lion.
But the blue and yellow were the feet, right?
It is
I-
Lance. Yeah, I was right.
He's the blue. Oh shit, I'm getting
He
all
was
confused.
he was the smart ass one, and Red, I believe, was why am I spacing on his name?
Red was one of the
He was the leader, yeah, and I'm
no,
spacing.
the black was the leader.
Right.
But Red was like kind of the second, I would say, guy, kind
I
of
was
like.
to say Lance is the okay. I'm looking this up. I swear to God, I thought.
Because I thought the little kid was blue. Well, the princess became blue actually.
Okay,
later.
maybe I'm messing this up, but the smart ass one who
I know who you. I know the one you mean though.
now I
There's the
can't remember
smart-ass
his
guy.
color. Yeah,
The smart-ass
exactly.
guy. Yeah, I know the one
I
you mean.
remember being like, "Who's this smart ass?"
And there
And
was
he's
like
smart.
the yellow one. I don't know. I'm not sure who. I don't know. I would have to review it to figure out who was my favorite. At the time, probably the leader, but
There's one that was just like always too serious, and I was like, "Who is this stick in the mud?"
I feel like that might be the red lion guy.
Yeah, as a child, like, who is this? Who is this?
Who is this? All right, folks, that was super amazing acronyms. Thank you very much for those acronyms.
Thank you. Those are
We're
great.
gonna
Oh,
talk.
I would have picked ZZ Top if I would have known.
I
Next
know
time.
it came in late. Yeah.
Next time.
But that's a good one, Carrie. All right, we're gonna talk frenemies fairly soon. Friends and enemies, and we're gonna do superhero experts. But let's talk to Kaedyn about his new book. All right, Charlie Song, Storm of Desolation, which is that's a great title. Desolation sounds really serious, like intense.
Yes.
Tell us. I'm going to put the Kickstarter on the screen, but why don't you tell the viewers about it?
Absolutely. So Charlie's Song is a trilogy I have been working on for 8 years. And actually, right after I did the Geeky Awards, I kind of went into creating this story. And so first it was a film, then it was a TV show. And then about 2019, I decided after pitching the TV show that a producer said to me, if you really want to own the IP, you should make it into a book series. And I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. And so I turned it into a trilogy. And so it's Storm of Desolation, Winds of Rebellion, and Tendrils of Hope. And it's a story about a group of LGBTQ teens, and there is a trans lead. Actually, most of the main characters are trans and queer, who in the era of 1848 discover that each of them have like kind of special powers, and they've got to come together as part of a prophecy to heal this empire. And this empire called Doria has colonized all of the smaller islands around it. And so there is a lot of like political upheaval. Again, this takes place during the Age of Revolution. So the theme is exactly what's going on during that era, is that people were sick of their, the imperial, the monarchies and the czars and like all of these, class systems that were in place that were really oppressing a lot of marginalized folks and poor folks. And so the main character, their journey is they realize that they have storm magic and they are the leader of this group, and that is Charlie. So as you can see by the images, Charlie is there with the raven, who is a symbol of the goddess that Charlie meets in the story. And it's a historical fantasy that is, it's a young adult series, so it's a historical fantasy, and there's a lot of history in there. Again, like the era of the time, talking about revolution, a lot of political upheaval. There's, romance. There's class system is like a very big theme I have in there. But ultimately, this story is about people finding their own magic and their power, and it's about a group of misfits that come together as found family. Some of them realize they're related to one another. Other are found family that they met along the way, and they come together to sort of figure out how to deal with this imperial empire that is sort of oppressing everyone. So it sounds a little dark, but it's actually got a really, I think, a really good ending, which I'm clearly not going to spoil. But book 1 is out right now. It's not out yet. I'm actually doing a Kickstarter for it to fund the process of publishing. And so anybody who's ever indie published before knows that you have to pay all the funds yourself, the editing, the people, the book cover, all of that. And so I teamed up with this company called Merrick Books, who is now my distributing partner, and they recommended that I make a special edition for Kickstarter because that's a really great way to fund a series. So what I did was I actually designed the cover. I'm a designer as well, so I designed this cover myself.
Oh, that's
And you can
amazing.
see it on the screen. Thank you. I tried to hire somebody to do it, and it didn't work. And then I was like, wait, I'm a designer. I just need to save the money and do it myself. And so this cover is going to be like vegan, purple vegan leather, and it's going to have all this metallic foil stamped into it. So this is all going to be foil colors in like a fuchsia, purple, and like copper gold. And then there's another picture in here somewhere. There's going to be like a beautiful gold slipcase. And in this book, this collector's edition is really special because it's going to be mostly, I want to say illustrated, but when I say illustrated, I don't mean like a graphic novel. It is still a young adult novel that's like pretty long. It's like 135,000 words, but it's going to have all sorts of art. So I've licensed art. I had other trans artists create art for it. So there's going to be like, you open the book and there's going to be like a beautiful map in there, and there's going to be artwork throughout, kind of slipped in there in between the pages. But ultimately, it's all about the story. And Storm of Desolation is the name of the first book because there is a major storm that happens that plays a really big role in the story. And I won't say any more than that. But yes, I'm really excited to share this. The Kickstarter goes until October 1st, which I believe is next week. And
Monday.
you can read all about it. Yeah, I think it's Tuesday. Yeah,
Oh,
Tuesday. Yeah, and you can read all about it here. As you can see, the funding goal was $10,000, and that just covered the cost of printing. And the beautiful thing about Kickstarter is that you have this thing called stretch goals. So the more you raise, the more I can pay artists. Then, you know, I can get that big fantasy map at 25,000 that I wanted because those cost a lot of money. And artist actually paints it by hand. And the woman that I got, her name is Francesca Berard, and she is famous for RPG maps. So she's worked on, I believe, Dragon Age, World of Warcraft. She's done Lord of the Rings. So yeah, she's like a famous artist. I was like, I need your map in my book. And as we get more money, if you buy a book, more stuff keeps getting added to your book without you paying anymore. And that's what I love about Kickstarter is, you know, you go to buy these collector's editions that are like hundreds of dollars, but here you actually get it at the base cost, which I think is $55 here. But it's like this beautiful leather bound, I should say, book. And it's got like metallic edges and, you know, all sorts of yummy stuff in between. And then there is the paperback version as well. So there's a bundle where you can get everything. So yeah, I'm really excited. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to pull this person's comment on Peaches is here. Right there at the bottom. Peaches is the artist for the paperback. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, so Peaches is awesome. And I have got an amazing story about Peaches. So if you look at the art in here, Peaches is the artist for the that right there. If you scroll down right there, the paperback, but also there's going to be another piece of art of like a war scene we got funded for. So that was one of the stretch goals. We're going to get another art by Peaches. So I'm really excited about that. And I've got this story to tell. So Peaches is non-binary and trans. And one of the reasons why I decided to self-publish, aside from like, I just didn't want to deal with the traditional publishing industry. I think sometimes they're really controlling. They kind of really, you know, they want people for money. Let's be honest. They always want authors for money. I'm sure there's some good ones out there, but I wanted to be able to choose who I worked with. And I said, you know what? I want to give work to other trans people, other queer people who might not get this work otherwise, especially artists. So I actually found an artist on, I think, Fiverr. I don't know. They were in another country, whatever. I found an artist. I was going to have them do the cover. They completely ghosted me. And then I was like, what do I do? And I was going to launch this in June. And then like 2 days later, Peaches messaged me and they were like, do you need an artist? And I went and looked at their work and I was like, okay. And if you want to look at their work, if you go to the updates right there at the top, there's like an updates tab. So there's campaign rewards, FAQ. Yeah. And if you scroll down a little bit, scroll down right there. One up right there. Yeah, the 208% funded. If you do read more, I believe it's in here. Oh my gosh, I could be wrong. Let's see. Wait, scroll down a little bit because here we go. So this is some of Peach's art. And they're amazing. And so Peaches is probably blushing over there. I'm here for the queer Victorian era superheroes. Heck yes. So this was just a really great project that allows me to hire whoever I want. So I'm getting people from other countries, people from other cultures involved. And the really special thing about this Kickstarter is that I think it was like April and May, I have been looking for work for months and not finding anything. And I've never had this experience before. Like, I'm a producer, I've never not found work. And I was kind of struggling. And I had this book that I had been working on, right, for years, but I never found time to do it. And back in that, in that month, I remember saying to myself, well, what if I took a chance on finishing my story? But like, how am I going to get the money to fund it? I don't have a job. It costs a lot of money to publish it. And that's when somebody referred me to Kickstarter. And that's how I found Merrick. And that's why I decided to do it. And I was worried that nobody was going to fund it. And this thing got funded in less than 48 hours. It was like a day and a half.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a video on Instagram. I'm bawling my eyes out because I was like, I can't believe this. And then, look where we're at now. We're over 200% funded. So for a first time novel, I am really excited. And I really hope that people love the story. I'd say it's a little bit more magical realism than fantasy, but it is technically historical fantasy. But I think people expect to see wizards and dragons. It's very witchy, a little more mythological, I will say. Yeah, there's gods trapped in human form and all that stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Prophecy.
So folks, like they said, Kaedyn said, since it is funded, you're definitely going to get it. There's no risk for this. You're going to get you're going to extras too, like you mentioned. And like I think, man, the collector's edition is beautiful. It's so awesome. And
Thank you.
by the way, I am such a sucker for maps in fantasy books. So dude, that's great. I hope we can get the map done. That's great.
Absolutely. Let me just put it this way. I'm trying to raise the extra money for the maps, but I will raise it either way. And I'm not going to not have a map. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys that right now. Like, it is not going to not have a map. So if you want the book and you think we're waiting on the map, it's going to happen. And I might surprise people. So maybe y'all are the only people that are going to know that.
All right. You got the first knowledge
inside scoop. Yeah, there's no way we can't not. I mean, it's like the art. It's like we have to have this art. We have to have a map because the map's going to be in every book. It's kind of a foundational piece. And speaking of witchiness, there's 3 islands. There's a big island called Doria, and there's 2 small islands called Galatia and Varsovia. And the shape of the islands is going to be something very noticeable by witchy people. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I purposely planned it. I woke up one day, I was like, that's exactly what they need to look like. Y'all might not notice, but some people
will. All right. So folks, where you can go, the direct link is a little long on Kickstarter, but if you type in Charlie Song Kickstarter, or you can go to Kaedyn's website, Trans Fairy Prints, and right on the homepage, there's a link to the Kickstarter. So you could very easily get to it from here. And you got 5 days. You can back it, get a whole bunch of cool extra stuff besides the book. And there you go.
I'm excited and happy to answer any questions about it.
Yeah. If you guys feel free to put them in the chat. You kind of touched on this a little bit earlier in the show, but how much research did you wind up doing in terms of for the era and like the location?
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. I've been working on this for 8 years. And I will say that my ancestry is Polish, Ukrainian, and Irish, and a little bit of French, right? So like, obviously the French Revolution era is my favorite era in history because when France revolted, it kicked off a revolution across the world. Like, every country tried to revolt. Some were successful, some were not, but it really kicked off that spirit of people that were like, I'm tired of the system. And I believe we are going through a planetary alignment right now that is the same as the French Revolution and the American Revolution. So this is very timely, and I didn't realize that. So I wanted to start off by saying that. And the reason why I mention it is because the story began when I went to Ireland and learned a little bit about my family history there, and more about the famine than I had ever imagined learning. And I remember coming back and being like, I need to tell this story. But, so initially I was researching a lot about the Irish famine and British Empire and their colonization of the world, and which, really kind of made me sick. And then I started diving into Ukraine and Russia and their colonization. And it just took me into a rabbit hole of research. But initially, the story was about the Irish famine, and I changed it to my own land, inspired by all these instances. And so I've done like layers and layers of research. And then I decided, oh, I need to look into all the gods and the magic systems because I need to create one for my own. So, I mean, this is like 8 years worth of research, and I'm still
Wow.
doing research. I'm still doing research. And that's my favorite part because I love history. But I will say it makes it a lot more difficult to get a book done because you have to do so much research. But it was fun because you are creating your own island. So you can be influenced, like you never want to appropriate another culture, right? But you can be influenced by your ancestors. For example, I was able to look across all these cultures, all of the different gods and archetypes, and really pull from like, well, what are the similarities that cross between cultures, and so I was like, okay, well, and I have gods and goddesses that I work with that I kind of renamed something different in the story. So it was really kind of beautiful to see, to create a culture where it's like, how was this country inspired by the French Revolution? Oh, and who just had a question? I
It
agree.
wasn't really a question, just like
Oh,
sorry. I just put some comments on sometimes. You can keep going. I didn't
yes,
mean to
yes,
interrupt you.
yes.
But also Johnny says, congrats on the funding. I wish you the best.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited. And now I have to finish editing the book. It's almost there. I'm on my final edits, probably for a few months. And I also did this because I wanted to see if anybody was even interested. It's like nothing worse than finishing a book you've spent forever on and nobody wants to read it. So, I've got a few hundred people out there and I think there's going to get more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Awesome. And by the way, Peaches says maps are fantasy essentials. I agree.
They are exactly. But we wanted to cover Peach's art first, and then I got the map after that. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Cool. All right, folks. Again, here we go. Let me put on the screen. Charlie Song, Storm of Desolation, first book in the trilogy. You can get on Kickstarter for the next 5 days. And there's all different tiers or like different some things you can support at.
Yeah. Oh, there's an ebook, by the way. There's an ebook for $10. If people are just like, I want something, inexpensive, every backer over the ebook level and above, so like $10, you get your name in the acknowledgments. So you get your name in the acknowledgments as my way of saying thank you. So you don't have to get the fancy version if you don't want to. And also the books, it's a trilogy. So the books are going to be jewel toned. It's going to be a different color and theme per book.
Oh,
So yeah,
nice.
this one's purple. The next one's going to be like a teal green. It takes place in winter, and they kind of correlate with the seasons because this is about a harvest and like the seasons of Earth, and the seasons and the weather. So
Oh, Victor even mentioned teal. I don't know. Maybe he somehow knew that. Interesting.
yes.
Cool. I like. Oh, okay. Okay, I gotcha. That's cool. I like that. I like the color coding there. Maps are the perfect way to get lost in a world.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I love these right here, these comments about fascism and resistance. It absolutely, it's funny because I started writing this story and I'm a rebel. And I was thinking to myself 8 years ago, who wants to read a story about colonization and imperialism? And now it's literally what we're dealing with. And who knew? And now it's come full circle to that's been happening the entire time.
All right, folks. Transfairyprince.com. Again, that's the website. I'll link you to the Kickstarter and other stuff that Kaedyn's got going on.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for sharing all that. Okay, everybody. Oh, okay. Oops, I almost forgot. So just real quickly, one event I'm going to be at this Saturday, if you happen to be in the upstate New York capital region area, is a new it's just called the Book and Comic Festival. It's a very, very generic name, but that's what it's called. It's a new festival. It's a place called the Shirt Factory in Glens Falls, New York. I'll be there 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. With my books. So if you don't know, I do some comedic, geeky erotica nowadays is where I make most of my stuff, which is RileyRoseErotica.com. And you can, but there's a whole bunch of different, artists and authors and craftspeople are going to be there and stuff. So you can come check it out.
Is it an actual shirt factory?
No, that's the thing. The building's called that, but it's actually just, maybe it used to be, but there's just like a bunch of different kind of like small independent places inside the building. One of
It's a
them's
mall.
Okay. Yes, sort of, but it's like an really old building. So it's not like a mall you're thinking of. Maybe like an indie mall, I guess you could say. But
Like
one
the
of them
old
was
malls, like when we were little, like malls that weren't like malls of America. They were like these tiny, they were actually like indoor strip malls in New York. Cause I know what you're talking about. I grew up in New York. So I
right.
know what you're talking about.
But there's a bookstore in there, and they're putting on this festival. Some of it'll be inside, some will be outside, actually. But hopefully it should be fun. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks. Let's get to our next geeky question. Oh, guess what, folks? Well, you may not know this because not many people want to see it. Transformers 1 came out last week. And in this origin story, apparently, according to the description, Optimus Prime and Megatron start out as friends. Oh my goodness, how about that? If you don't know Transformers, they are bitter enemies of the one is the Autobots leaders, one's the Decepticons leader, but I guess this is an origin story. So what other fictional enemies do you think used to be friends or maybe should become friends? And again, this could come from movies, books, shows, video games, whatever. So, for example, like the show Smallville did a good job showing, well, so the comics did too, I think, that Lex Luthor and Clark were friends at first, and then, of course, before they turned to enemies. But I guess think if there's anything else out there that you guys think you could see these people that they used to be friends or they should become friends.
Oh my gosh. I'm like spacing on who's like friends. Maybe it's the time of night. Who's been friends and enemies?
And you can tell us in the chat there or in the comments if you're watching.
I'm going to think about this one.
I get it too. France, you got anything?
Like some epic fantasy. You know, I want to say that I'm going to say Sauron and Gandalf.
Just thinking that's so weird. All right.
Yeah, I just because I'm watching Rings of Power right now. So Sauron and Gandalf, but if you watch Rings of Power, Sauron's in there as a human in the human body character. So I think what if these two?
Oh, is Sauron in Rings of Power?
What?
Is Sauron in Rings of Power?
Yeah, and the second Rings of Power, the second
season.
Series?
Oh, as a regular person?
It's actually the second season is actually about the Rings of Power. I don't even know what the first season was about, to be honest. It was not. But this one is actually about the Rings of Power, and they're making them. So I was like, okay, now we're starting the show. And I would say if Sauron and Gandalf were besties, they would probably be like the equivalent of Ian McKellen and oh my God, Picard. Why am I spacing on his name?
Patrick Stewart.
Thank you, Patrick Stewart. Like I kind of imagine them in that situation, like, two elderly, powerful human beings, probably British, chitty chatting over coffee and tea. Like, do you remember that time that we hung out with those hobbits?
Right, that time. Nice. Well, what about, I guess we kind of, since they did the Picard series, they've kind of already done this, but if that didn't exist, I wouldn't mind seeing Picard becoming friends with Q, sort of. They were always kind of frenemies, sort of, anyway, a little bit, right? I don't know. At least by the end.
Now, the question is, are they enemies to lovers or friends?
Picard and Q? Wow. Well, I feel like Q would sleep with anyone, probably. Picard,
There's a fan base for this, okay?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Everyone's
I
a
don't know,
little
Picard,
gay.
so it was impossible to get Picard to sleep with anyone, really, even if they threw themselves at him, I feel like. But
yeah, he seems a little asexual to me.
He was
to
so
be honest. Yeah, he and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, but he seems a little like,
he's like, oh my God, it's a Horgon. People are coming to have sex with me. Let's put this away. Like, all right, Francis, who do you got?
Well, I guess Charles Xavier and Magneto, right?
Magneto,
right?
Well, they were friends. Absolutely, yes.
They were friends that became enemies. Goku and Vegeta, they were friends, or they were enemies.
Is Vegeta the bad guy?
They're all named after food, apparently. All of the Dragon Ball characters are named after food.
Is Goku a food?
Goku is like noodles or something. Yeah, it's something. They're all foods though. Everyone's a food. Yeah. Piccolo's a pickle, right? And yeah. So everything there. Yeah. So
well, Victor's got Londo, Malari, and Michael Garibaldi from Babylon 5. I know the Garibaldi.
Oh yeah, Garibaldi. The guy with the flared hair.
Wait, no,
is that the guy?
I thought Garibaldi was the security guy at first.
Oh, he's a security guy.
I don't know enough about
he's
Babylon
a security
5.
guy.
I think that's
someone has flared.
Yeah,
hair.
someone has the ridiculous hair.
And that's the bald flare hair.
All right. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, this choice I love, Tammy.
Oh, jeez.
I love Kim Possible. Kim Possible and Shigo. You know why this is so great? There's an episode where something, I don't know, it's probably a Dr. Draken ridiculous experiment or something. She becomes good, and she becomes like a substitute teacher in Kim's school, but they become like best friends, her and Kim, for that one day, and they go shopping and they have the best time. And it's so great. So
What's the name? She has a brother, right?
Shigo has like 4 brothers, Higo, Migo, and they're all
Right.
Go,
Yeah.
the Go family.
Okay.
Sorry. That's Disney Channel animated series, one of the best out there. If
I
you haven't
have
seen it,
not
folks.
seen that, and I need to watch it because I was just looking it up. Like, why have I not seen
It's
that?
amazing.
Okay,
Yes,
that
a
I'm adding that.
high school girl who's really a spy, like an amazing spy,
I love
who's
it.
assisted by her goofy friend Ron Stoppable, and he's assisted by the naked mole rat Rufus.
Okay, I'm watching that. Kim Possible. Okay, I'm watching that show.
But I actually haven't seen they did a live action later, but just watch the cartoon first, the animated series. I actually don't know. The live action didn't look great, but I don't know if it was or not.
Yeah. That's why I'm going to turn my story into an animated series. It's just like so much easier to get it right. You start doing fantasy and live and magic and live action, and it's like cheesy. They can't quite get it there.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so Victor says Dr. Crusher and War from Next Gen. Well, I don't think were they enemies. I don't think they were ever really enemies, right?
No.
Maybe. Do you want them to be lovers? I mean, he got with Deanna. She-Ra and Catra. Oh,
yes.
Oh, hey, that's a good one.
Now that is definitely enemies to lovers. If I have anything to do with it. I mean, and I love the new series, the animated series She-Ra. It's so good. It's so good. All the characters are so good.
I'm trying to remember Catra. I've only seen the original She-Ra. Was she a cat?
Catra, yeah. Kind of.
Was she like Chitara from Thundercats or no?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know how to describe her.
Is it a cat humanoid or not really?
Not really, but like, yeah, there's some markings. Yeah. Friends to enemies to lovers. There you go.
Well, so what about He-Man and Skeletor then?
Oh my God, He-Man and Skeletor. No, that's super good.
It's like Flint and Cobra Commander being a.
I like how you chose Flint and not Duke or Hulk or anybody.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of the old cartoons I used to watch, that was one of my favorites. Was He-Man. Like I love She-Ra, and I don't know why I had the She-Ra castle, probably because I was born a girl and my parents were like She-Ra. But I loved He-Man and Skeletor. Like Skeletor is one of my all-time favorite villains.
He's amazing.
He-Man. My friend Melissa did a Halloween costume, was so friggin' epic of Skeletor. I was so jealous because that's my ultimate Halloween costume is Skeletor, but like with a skirt, like just something really weird. And I love it. Who doesn't love Skeletor? Come on.
Oh, he's great. He's ridiculous.
So
that's the thing. All those like Cobra Commander stuff. Those villains were so like over the top ridiculous, but they were fun. And
we did the Geeky Awards. I think it was the second year where what I did was I themed the years, and the first year was sci-fi, and the second year was fantasy, and then third year was time travel. Yeah, so it was the second year, and I would give the artist all of these things to put in because it was like an animated poster, like an animation type. And I remember it was like, you need Castle Grayskull in the background. Like that needs to be in there. Like I need to have this in there. And Jareth was in there floating in a little ball. I was like, these are the things you need in there. I wish I had this. It is on IMDb. But yes, I'll have to pull that up.
Super fun. Geek Awards were great. That was a whole award show Kaedyn started, by the way, folks.
Yes. Yeah. It's no longer, but it was so fun.
By the way, in our poll right now, speaking of those 80s cartoons, Transformers still in the lead. He-Man is second. G.I. Joe. Oh my God. Actually, my favorite G.I. Joe went to last now. Thundercats is making a recovery now in third. All right, but Transformers still in the lead. All right.
Yes. Okay.
Catra was a woman with a Catwoman-like voice. If she pulled on her mask headpiece, she turned into a Black Panther. Thank you, Tammy.
I gotta love the Black Cats. I'm cheesy. I love Miraculous, Ladybug, and Cat Noir. If anybody else watches that, I was addicted. I watched that during the pandemic, so it was the only uplifting thing in my life at that moment, and I was obsessed. And I love Cat Noir. I collect Cat Noir stuff. Anybody wants to know what to get me? It's Black Cats. Clearly, Black Cats.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah,
but specifically
Cat Noir.
Victor, this is true. There was an episode where Roar refused to save a Romulan, not a Romian, but a Romulan. soldier after Dr. Crusher. Yeah, he was the only one who like had the right blood type or something or whatever. All right. Let's see. I don't know. Any other ones we want to throw in there? Like enemies to friends or lovers? Some of the lovers got thrown in, but that's fine. Why not?
I mean, Darcy and Lizzie Bennett were enemies.
Oh,
Lovers.
yeah.
Animation got us through the pandemic. Okay.
Didn't it? Like, I was binging so many animated series at that time. Like I think I couldn't even deal with humans. I didn't want to watch anything with humans in it at that point and nothing was being made anyway. So yes.
Tammy's daughter Annika loved Cat Noir. Okay.
I am obsessed. I'm telling you, once you get obsessed with Ladybug and Cat Noir, Miraculous, it's an obsession. It's a thing. It's a thing. I have a Ladybug onesie. Like it's a little wild.
If you don't know the show, folks, they're like superheroes, but it's actually set in France, right?
Yeah, it's set in France, and they're teenagers who realize that they are they get chosen, I should say, to be superheroes. They get these miraculous, which allow them to turn into superheroes. And the thing is that there's like a nerdy girl in high school that has a crush on this popular boy, and then she has a crush on him. But then when they're superheroes, Cat Noir has a crush on Ladybug, and they don't like each other back the same way. So there's a weird triangle thing happening, and then there's all sorts of other characters. But I have a funny story for everybody that loves that, is that my friend Jeremy, I was really down like during the pandemic, and my friend Jeremy is a con manager for like at conventions, not con, not a con manager for actors. And he was the con manager for the voice of Cat Noir. And so he had that guy, I'm spacing out his name, Bryce, I think it was. He had him record a message to me. So I have this Cat Noir message. It's so special.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yes. I like freaked out. I was like, are you kidding me? Like I have a message from the actual Cat Noir. So cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Victor says, would my 5 ex-wives count? What are they like friends? Are they friends now? I don't know what that loves to enemies to friends. I don't know.
I'm assuming it was friends to lovers to enemies to maybe back to friends. There's a thing going on here.
I'm trying to figure out if he really did have 5 ex-wives or he's just being superfluous, or exaggerating, hyperbolic. I mean, all right. There we go, folks. That was well, you can keep putting them in if you want, though. If you got any other thoughts about friends to enemies or enemies to friends, whatever way you want to do it. All right. Oh, let's thank, before we do our last game of the night, which is Superhero Experts, let's thank our Patreons. So we always do this once a week here, folks. This is a way where people can support us. Let me get the link. Here it is. Patreon.com/supergeekedup. You can just do a monthly pledge to any amount you want, pretty much as low as $2. But if you do $10 or more a month, you get a super shout out every week by Francis and I, or Kaedyn, you can join us if you happen to have the doc up if you'd like as well. If you don't worry about it, but if you'd like to. Yeah, so there you go. That's what we're going to do. Francis, or you can also do a super chat. If you're on YouTube chat, I think the lower right, there's a little dollar symbol, and you can do a one-time donation as well. Francis, what's the theme here for, what do you think? For the Patreon
it's going to just be the after acronyms.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's why we put that first. All right. So we're going to use the old acronyms here. So I'm going to go find these and put these on the screen. Or do you already have them, Francis? You good on your end?
I mean, I can start if you need me to.
Yeah. Why don't you start?
All right. Well, I'll use this one just because it's right in front of me. But Craig Allen Poole, you're such a babe, a British, and also British.
Come on.
You're just a British and also British, everybody. Thank you, Craig. He is British.
Well, I knew he was British. I didn't know he was also British, though.
He's also British. He's both British and British.
All right.
You can never underestimate the British who are also British.
Rachel J. You know what comes after JK, and that's Kit, the best, coolest car ever from Knight Rider. But in this case, Kit means you are a crazy, I know it's not right letter, but crazy, intelligent, terrific tangoer. Yep. Knows how to do the tango really well. That's Rachel. All right, here. I'm just going to give you one, Kaedyn. So that we're on Greg and Rena Horvey now, and they are snaps.
Greg and Rena Harvey, you are spectacular, nebulous, spectacular. What am I saying? Okay, spectacular, nebulous. Where was I going with this? And I'm thinking of all like terrible words. I can't think of
That's
it.
fine. You can.
And powerful sorceresses. Sorcerers.
Oh,
There you go.
I like that.
Spectacular, nebulous. I don't know if that's a word. And powerful sorcerers.
It is.
There you go.
Who doesn't want to be a powerful sorceress?
The word patriarchy was stuck in my mind. I was like, this is not accurate for this time.
All right, back
Thank
to
you,
Francis.
Tammy Anderson, who's the arch nemesis of Rachel J, because you are a car. You like to keep a Range Rover.
Keep a Range Rover. Oh boy, that was an easy one.
Super easy.
Y'all are picking in advance. I'm thinking about it. I had to do it on the spot.
I know.
that's
Yeah,
true.
me too.
That's not fair.
That's
Car-
true. I'll
car
pick a
was-
hard one. I'll pick a hard one next.
Yeah, I want you to
for
pick that
next one.
really long one. Like
I
there
know,
is like a
okay.
really
I'm almost gonna. Are you gonna do it? Because I was.
You could do it. I'll do
Debating.
the. I'll do
Do
the
it.
one with the Q in it.
All right. So Johnny Pappas. Well, Johnny goes by Big Daddy Pappas on our show. We know, Johnny, you love the Spice Girls. God, I wish I didn't do this.
Oh, then I'll pick the other one.
You are.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
You
Yeah, I'll pick
are a sexy person, individually cool and excellent, and fighting. What's with the fighting?
No, keep going.
Okay. Oh, I thought you wanted me to work in a boxing reference. And you are a great ice cream loving radical lieutenant of. I'm trying not to say the word.
Sensuality.
Sensuality. Thank you. I almost said sluts. Sensuality.
Mm.
This is Licking Ohio, people. Remember.
Right.
That's
Oh
true.
yes,
Yeah,
I could have
that's
said
right.
licking,
Yeah.
licking sensuality. All right. We're on what? Michael Gilstrap, and let's see. All right, here.
Just do ET.
Yeah, I'll give you ET. There you go, Kaedyn.
Oh wait, no, wait. I want ZZ Top. Are you doing me?
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Come on, man. We can't not use ZZ Top.
Here we go.
All right. And I've been thinking. Okay, so you. And it was Michael. The name. Michael Gilstrap. Thank you, Michael Gilstrap. You are a zesty zenith of titacular ostrich-like plumy awesomeness. I added a word.
Sure, ostrich like plumy. Yeah, awesomeness. I like it.
I don't even know where that went.
Ostrich
Started
have like
off
plumes.
okay, but
All right. 2 more. No, 3 more, right? Yeah, 3 more. All right, Francis.
Dash V. I can't believe you took up cryptozoology.
Oh no.
there you go.
Because really, you pretty thing. Oh, Zach. Oh, Zach. Obviously, oval. Obviously, no, actually, obviously, orange leggings.
Mhm.
Occupy your generous yo-yo section.
Oh my God! Back to the yo-yos.
Back to the yo-yo section. Well,
Oh, I know what the yo-yo section is. All right, yeah.
Here's the yo-yo section.
It's
It's also Dash V. I have to mention some
of course,
some
you do.
genitalia when I'm talking about.
Terry Field. Well, since we were talking about Russian stuff, Terry Field, you are a nasty yo-yo entrepreneur tester.
We really like yo-yo. We need
Yes.
some my words.
Well, I'm the only one who hasn't worked it in yet, so I need to get my yo-yo reference in. But it's nasty yo-yos.
But nasty, like a good nasty.
Right. There you go.
Like nasty.
All right, Jeff. You know which one you have to pick for the last one, since we haven't used it yet.
Well, I don't know, but Kaedyn doesn't want to do this one. Is this the
I
one?
know, but
No, I'm not doing it.
I knew it. I knew he wanted that one. I'll give you another
I'm
one.
not doing it.
All right, this is for Jalou. Jalou, all right, Dweezil.
Jalou,
jeez, another Z
you
word.
are daring, wonderful, extraterrestrial, exotic, zany,
Oh,
extraordinary lover.
lover.
I think those are very accurate for Jalou, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, folks. If you want weird things like that said about you, patreon.com/super-geeky is where you can go. No matter what level you're at, we appreciate you guys very much. And Pete just says, for the yo-yo kinksters, OVs.
No, look at Peach's comment, 2 up. That's my fave.
These ones?
That's exactly what
Like
it
a
is.
pile of drunken pickup lines.
Hey,
Yes.
yeah, and they're not easy on the spot. You like to think they are, and then your brain's like I would never win Jeopardy. I would never win trivia. I can't think on the spot. My neurodivergent brain does not go there.
Well, all right. Tammy doesn't have a Range Rover, by the way.
Right, she has 2 Impalas, a 66 Chevelle, and a beat-up Silverado for horse stuff. Yes.
Ooh, Chevelle.
And Tammy, thank you. I missed this, but back for the Friends to or Enemies of Friends, she referenced my super knocked up web series, Captain Amazing and Dark Star.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Oh, she says this would be a great game. That Peaches reference, super geeky drunken pickup lines.
Yes.
That could be a good game.
Drunken.
All right.
Yeah.
Am I allowed? Well, if they're super geeky drunken pickup lines, Victor, sure, you can post them.
What lines did you use for your 5 ex-wives?
Yeah.
Literally,
give us one for each
I was literally
ex-wife.
reading my mind, Francis. You're reading my mind.
Which one was the best? I guess none of them really were the best, right? Because they're all
They're 5 ex-wives.
Yeah, so I guess none of them really worked. But well, they could have worked to get them in the first place, though. I guess, right? All right, let's do Rance. What's our last game of the night?
My allergies, apparently. God.
Super geeky allergies.
Super geeky allergies. I'm Allergy Man for superhero experts. This is a show where there's pretty much an interviewer where we're going to be asking questions of 2 superheroes that you get to pick, where Kaedyn and Jeff will be playing those superheroes. So please, at this moment, if you can, go ahead and put up real, not just fictional characters in general. They could be anyone from Alan Quatermain from the amazing League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. They could be, I'm pretty sure Mr. Darcy's a fictional character, so you could pick that guy.
You want to hear a really terrible British accent?
Yeah. Make sure they're all British, though. Make sure everyone is a British.
No, they don't have to all be British. Jesus Christ. The one accent I can't do. Well, actually, there's a lot of accents I can't do.
Pick one Italian and 1 British character.
Yes,
but no, pick any type of fictional character, and I'm going to ask them, or you're going to actually give questions, and if not, I'm definitely happy to ask the most hitting superhero / fictional questions I could possibly think of to ask.
So yeah,
these
give us
experts.
any time of fictional characters there, folks. And Victor says to wife 1, "Yo, babe, I have the key to the handcuffs." Okay, Jesus Christ. It's terrible.
Ooh, Jareth. That's a good one.
We got Jareth as a choice. There we go.
Now, do we get to pick out of the list?
Yes. You get to pick out of the list.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh,
Wife 2. Wait, I know you will be one of my future exes. Oh, that's great. Okay.
Yeah, that's a typical pickup line, though. It's like, oh, are you ready to be the future ex so and so? That's like a thing that people say.
That's terrible. But you're saying, I know we're going to break up.
They said it in Jurassic Park. I'm always looking for the next future Ian Malcolm. Future.
Does Malcolm say that?
He says that. Yeah.
He's such a flirt in that one, man. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, water goes
he's
down
laying there
one
with his
side.
shirt open, Yeah.
Don't forget the hand thing where he's just rubbing it like this.
I'm just gonna go on record to say I'm just picking Jareth right off the bat.
Okay. Oh, Jared, you're Jared. All right, we got She-Hulk as a choice.
Because why not?
Yeah. All right. Throw a bunch of other. Gandalf. I don't think I've ever played Gandalf on this show, actually.
Ooh, that's a good one.
No, but we've never played any Lord of the Ring characters.
I don't know if that's
going
true.
fantasy
Ever.
here.
I don't know if ever.
Fantasy route.
No.
Well, maybe you have, but maybe way back when in
Yeah.
Super Geeked Up, I'm going to say we
Yeah,
might have.
pre me maybe. Yeah, you
Pre you,
me.
PF, pre Francis.
pre me. I'm just a small baby. I'm a pre me.
Oh, I see. I was like, what? Okay. I'm really the man you are in lust with. Oh boy. All right. I can see why these weren't
Two more,
working,
Victor. Two more. You gotta. We're putting you on the spot, Victor. Two more.
Are
The rest of
Victor's
you, the rest of you can give us.
watching is the question.
The rest of you can give it. Well, all right, I'll just be Gandalf. That's fine. And we got Jareth and Gandalf. Give us some. You can give us some topics if you want for Francis to ask us about on the Superhero Expert Show. But and we'll kind of just kick it off in the meantime, and Francis can always get us started. Oh, Inspector Clouseau, that's a good one too, Tammy. Why 4, officer? I do need to strip search for a third. Wait, what? I need
Because the officer's the fourth wife. So he's asking the fourth wife / the officer to strip search.
Do a strip search of him
for a
third time. Okay.
Yes.
You must be. Oh, here we go. More. You must be a book from the library because I'm checking you out. Yeah, that's a classic one.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
It should be. So you must be a book from the library because Dewey Decimal System.
Let's not use any of these on anybody. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Juan Sanchez Villanova. This is Sean Connery's character from Highlander. That's funny.
If it gets you to do the Sean Connery accent, go for it.
I know, but I chose Gandalf, so I'll stick with that. All right, here we go. Super experts again. You can put in some questions or topics of the day, like if you think that might be pressing for Gandalf or Jareth. And Francis is going to be our host here, and I have to do the theme song apparently. That's kind of what I do usually for the show. All right, ready, Francis? Ready to kick us off here? All right. This is Superhero Experts. I've been changing it. Go ahead.
Well, okay. Welcome everyone to Terminator 7.
It sounds like Terminator.
Because that's the theme to Terminator. Today we have two fine folk here, Jareth and Gandalf, to answer your pressing questions. Because if this world needs saving, these two are the ones to do it. Hello, Jareth. Hello, Gandalf. How are you doing?
Right here.
Imaginary hello.
Balls.
Oh God, I can't look at you, Jareth. Those balls, they're a little too much.
Francis, look into the ball. I will put them down for you. I know you're intimidated.
It is a little intimidating. It is. I have to admit.
Oh, I'm only used to looking at Hobbit's balls.
You're too tall for that, Gandalf. That's impossible. Oh,
well, not if I. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
wait, does Jareth have a British accent? No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Okay, he doesn't.
He has a bit of a voice.
Yes.
He has that. Yeah, he sounds.
Yes, but he has what I like to call flair. No, what's the word I'm thinking of? Anyway,
teaches us a lot of stuff you can use in the.
I know.
In the chat.
Yes.
Jareth, has anyone ever let you know that you remind me of the Babe?
You know, Francis, there was a woman once. Her name was Sarah. And she told me, no, I think I told her that she reminded me of the Babe. And you know what she said to me?
What?
Do you know what she said to me? You have no power over me. And that was a turnoff. We didn't last very long.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, that makes me sad. But Gandalf, though, you, on the other hand, never tried to you never reminded anyone of a Babe, have you?
What is this Babe you speak of?
You know, like
an infant?
A Babe with the power.
An infant? A child?
No, well, sort of. It's
a child. There's a child here.
Well, there's hobbits look like children. Maybe you'd like them.
Hobbits.
Do you like big hairy feet?
Okay, Gandalf, what did I tell you about making a hobbit out of this? All right. You need to relax. Okay. First off, I have.
Oh, what a good joke.
I am curious, though. You both came here in gray. Why? Why don't you guys like to at least put a little color into your fits, as the kids say, the fits.
Well, Francis, I would like to answer this question by saying, if you examine my entire ensemble, it is very ruffly. There's a lot of embellishments, and so if you knew anything about fashion, you would know that you must tone down the embellishments with a little bit of a lack of color. The gray balances out the ruffles, the black vest, the hair, the makeup. You can't
Great
have
hair, by the
everything
way.
glamorous. Thank you.
Yeah. Gandalf, you seem to apparently have a similar hairstyle to Jared.
Yes. Thank you. I have
You know what's up
long
here.
flowing locks.
Yes, but you keep it all under that hat. Why do you wear that really pointed hat? Are you trying to make a point? Is that what you're trying to do? Tell us the truth, Gandalf.
Well, you might think gray is rather boring, but it's much more exciting than the brown wizard, whatever his name is.
Oh, Radagast, how dare you?
Yes, well, listen, he's just covered in shit. So I think I look pretty good compared to him.
You leave him alone. He's a good wizard. Oh, well, Jareth, you have been known to gather quite a group of really scary individuals. As a matter of fact, as I
My
choke.
goblin children.
Yes.
Scary.
Well,
They're beautiful. Princess, I'm a little bit offended.
As am I.
Wait, you know who these goblins are?
Well, they look like hobbits to me, so
Everything looks like hobbits to you, Gandalf.
Anything short looks like a hobbit.
Everything short. Well, then yes, the goblins would look like that.
Listen, I'm 1,000 years
I
old.
like
What
the
do you
standoff
expect?
character.
You do well.
Have you met in another realm somewhere? I believe.
I think so. Your tight purple pants look familiar to me.
They're lavender, light gray. Thank you, but I understand.
I'm a little colorblind.
And for the record, you're not looking at my pants. We know what you're looking at.
I mean, you're playing with balls. It's hard not to notice. So, but again, being the leader of these goblins, Jareth, have you ever thought of, I don't know, being giving yourself a title? I mean, you can't just.
I already have a title. Did they not tell you in the press room? Did my PR agent not inform you?
No,
I'm the Goblin King.
Oh, I thought that was a fast food competitor to the current.
Francis, what is fast food?
Where you're from, does food get up and run away?
It does.
We don't really eat, so I'm not sure.
Do you not eat in your kingdom?
Why do we need to eat? We know magic. We don't need to eat. That's a human thing.
I just smoke.
Eat in that human realm, not in this realm.
Oh, hobbits would not like that at all.
Gandalf, smoking. I mean, you've got to quit. You can't keep doing this stuff.
All right, listen, odd man, from speaking words I don't understand. Smoking is where I get my magic from. Don't you understand?
Oh,
at least that's what I tell my fellow wizards.
Oh, don't you have? You have. As a matter of fact, I was watching a show earlier today talking about friends who were enemies at first, or or I guess eventually become enemies. You have a friend like that, don't you?
Oh, you mean Sauron? Or do you mean Saruman? I have lots of enemies nowadays. Who are you talking about?
Technically, you have one. Well, two. True, you have two. But yeah, the wizard, Saruman.
Ah, Saruman. Yes. What a little bitch.
Do you ever throw a Pokeball at him?
No, I'm not in the right country for that. To do that. They only work on catching hobbits.
Oh, I see. Well, one day you're gonna have to.
Because you
show
can't
me
get a hobbit to come along an adventure unless you capture him in a Pokeball.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Of course, Jareth, you like to throw your balls at your goblins, right?
No one touches my balls, Francis, without my permission, including my children.
How did you get so good managing those balls of yours?
Magic. It's magic.
It's all magic.
In fact, it's actually not. It's an illusion.
Oh.
We are being mind warped right now by thinking that these are balls. There's actually nothing in my hands.
Oh, I thought it was from the smoking. I was doing the.
Actually, that was really impressive. Let's do the mind warp again.
Let's do the mind warp again.
I was waiting for somebody to start singing it.
Well done. Well, it's good to have two magical people here. One day, I hope to go to Upper and Lower Earth, Gandalf and Jareth. Hopefully, one day you'll be able to handle. Never mind.
Listen,
one day you'll have to visit my kingdom and meet my children, and please bring along many human children because we like to. I won't get into that.
Well, anything to make sure that Ludo not sad. That's all I ask.
Oh, Ludo.
No, Ludo sad. Well, thank you. Thanks everyone for joining our, of course, Terminator 7 edition of the show. We have our band here. They're going to play us off with our outro music.
Let's do
the turn up again. All right, there you go. That was Superhero Experts, folks. All right, these are some things that were going on during that from both Tammy and Peaches.
Can you
Jareth subtle? How very dare you? Gandalf's fast choice of being on trial is not something I was expecting, but I'm here for it. Hobbits, goblins, and orcs. Oh my. And LOL. No, but Gandalf calling Saruman a little bitch is from the soul.
That was good.
That's what he should have done.
Yeah.
Does Gandalf like mazes? What is? Oh, because Jareth.
The labyrinth.
Yeah, the labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Ludo rocks. She said,
Ludo does rock. It's so cute.
Who can move the stars? Is that from Labyrinth too? What is that from? Or is that just a question?
That could be a Gandalf question, actually. I don't know.
Interesting. I mean, we know who has the best magical glowing balls. That's
of course.
Oh yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves here.
Oh, I just missed this too. This would have been a good character choice too. Laura Dannon from Willow, one of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like yogurt?
Yes, it's right. They had in Willow. They had to save this container of yogurt that floated down the river. It was abandoned, but it was the only thing. The yogurt was the only thing that could defeat Queen Bavmorda, the evil queen. They had to get her to eat the yogurt.
A tub of yogurt.
You'll play, but I think you possibly.
Right. And not yogurt from Star Spaceballs.
Oh, Spaceballs.
I was gonna say.
Also, one of my favorite movies of all time. Don't get me started on that one.
All right,
That's why
folks.
I had Lord Helmet at the Geeky Awards. I was like, not gonna have that.
Well, there you go.
Nice. Hey, before we go, folks, transfairyprints.com. That is Kaedyn's site where you can get a link to, let me get it back up on the screen here, this Kickstarter. There you go. Charlie Song, Storm of Desolation, book 1 in the planned trilogy. And since it's already funded, you get some cool extras too.
Yay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the extra that the goal is the map, which is at 25.
Yes.
So
We're almost we're so close to the map. We're like $2,500 away from the map.
All right. I think you'll get there.
Do it. It's gonna happen. Got 6 more days, 5 more days. Oh my gosh, 5 more days. I'm just noticing that now.
That's all right. There's still time. Still time to back it. Oh, by the way, Tammy says, Jareth says, I move the stars for no one.
Oh,
that's right. I forgot about that line. Wow, I haven't seen Labyrinth in forever. But that was one of my favorite movies growing up. That and The Dark Crystal. See, everybody else was watching like superhero movies, and I was watching those like Jim Henson fantasy movies. So good. And Krull. I brought up Krull today, and people are like, "What's that?"
Krull.
It's like
Yeah.
Krull. And Krull, for anyone that doesn't know, it's like a fantasy sci-fi, right? It's like a futuristic fantasy. I don't even know how to describe it, but it made me want to write, which I still will someday, like a futuristic fantasy. A fantasy, I don't think it's a fantasy in space because it's really another world, but there's something about it that it's like sci-fi and fantasy combined, and I love that movie so
I gotta go
much.
back and watch that.
Oh, so good. Yeah. I mean, does it hold up? I don't know, but I'm sure it's good. Yes, sci-fantasy. There you go.
Sci fantasy, so
So
underrated.
underrated.
Michael's still lurking. I'm just gonna let everyone know. But he did tell me. He messaged me. This is from an RPG I played called Outgunned. It's a fairly new one, it's a very like action oriented, like action scene, 80s action, like high octane RPG. It's fun.
Ah.
And Tammy says, "Kroll."
Grew up with that. Love that movie.
Victor, I think Victor's saying he watched Kroll in the theater, I think is what he's saying there.
Ah.
Wow, a lot of Kroll fans here. All right. There you go, folks. So check out the Kickstarter. And Francis, where can they find you, Francis? Right here, right?
Right. Yeah. When Josh, the host of the show, when he has time, we go ahead and do a live podcast about the most generic things on the internet. So check it out, POI Podcast. Tuesdays, usually.
Okay, I need to know, like, what is a generic thing on the internet? Give us an example.
That's the thing. It's generic. So let's see. What would be the most generic thing we talk about? We'll just like whatever is on his mind.
Do you ever talk about pancakes?
We have yet. I don't think he likes pancakes. Is whatever
what
the host wants to talk
Josh,
about.
Jesus.
I don't like pancakes. I like French toast and waffles, but I don't like
you're
pancakes.
Fine. That's fine. You got 2 out of 3.
There's something about them that are mushy, and I was like,
French toast and waffles are great too, so I'm down.
It's got to be French toast or waffles.
Well, you can also find Francis at.
Oh yeah. Now that I've forked over, all of the money I have for this stupid website for the next 3 years, go ahead and check it out. Because who knew that was website
a few weeks ago on the show. He mentioned how like he wasn't sure if he was gonna pay them.
No, because I'm like, what? A link tree is enough. Like, who needs a website anymore nowadays? Really? But then I like having a website. I just have a website now.
Yeah.
I need to have someone actually make it. It's just such a boring website. I gotta hire somebody to do something about it.
I have a website. I don't even use it. I really don't. I use my link tree.
Like, yeah, see, right? Exactly. Because
nobody goes there. Yeah, it's kind of a waste. It's like, why am I paying for this?
I think Tammy's talking about Krull, the cool weapon, maybe from Krull.
It's perhaps? The glaive or whatever it is. That thing that, yeah.
Oh yeah, the
spinny thing.
Super-geekedup.com, folks. Where you can. By the way, please, if you're new, if you're new, please hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. That helps us out. If you can, and of all, you can click that thumbs up. That helps more people find the show. We appreciate it very much. And one most generic topic, laundry. Oh, that's pretty generic.
Oh yeah, we've talked about laundry. Sure.
Oh my God,
yeah, that's happened. Talk about washing dishes. Sure.
How about if you're neurodivergent, that you never put your laundry away? Okay.
I mean, I have a pile of socks just laying around. So
I never fold my laundry. I leave it in the dryer and I just pull out what I need.
It gets wrinkled if you don't. That's
the thing that you can dry it again.
Yeah, it doesn't get that wrinkled.
You just do it again.
Fucking t-shirts, man.
Once it gets to that hamper and you got to put it away, then it's wrinkled. Like I've got all the wrinkled stuff that hasn't gotten put away yet. Medieval weaponry, yeah.
Oh, glaives though. Yeah. Oh, medieval weapons, great. I agree. Okay, folks. Before we go, one thing you could do to help Francis out, Francis, if you want to let them know.
Oh, geez, I keep forgetting that I'm dying.
Don't put it like that, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I think we leave this to the end.
Keep forgetting that Oh, yeah. So hey, I have a chronic kidney disease. So if you have a kidney that's just lying around in your couch or something, or in the bed, go to this website. Put in a bunch of information, and if you're eligible and you want to, for whatever reason, You can give me one because then I can be cool and not have to be tired all the time.
So folks, if you go to uclcanadonor.org, you fill out like a little form, but what you got to also do is put his name, Francis Fernandez, and his birth date, so it goes to him. If
Yeah.
you were eligible, this is not committing you to anything. It's just
No, it's just to see if
just
you
taking
can
some
even do
information.
it in the first place. There's no obligation. Some people just like to know. Some people are just curious. Like, could I give him a kidney if I really want to?
But Francis Fernandez, November 8th, 1980,
Yeah.
that's his birth date. That's the information you would need.
So
And
if
it's
you're interested,
uclcanadonor.org.
or if you know someone who can, just go there. That'd be great.
All right. Because we got to have Francis keep doing his Sean Connerys and his
No.
funny jokes.
No, I want to be addicted to caffeine, so take your time.
Let's see here. All right, there we go. All right. So big thanks to Kaedyn. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you for playing our games.
And will you also share? Somebody gave Peach's IG address right there. It's
where?
Sabra Pink.
Tammy did.
Tammy,
there
thank
you
you.
go.
Oh,
yeah.
Lithium_peaches. That's Instagram.
Yeah, and so if you want to hire an amazing artist that also did the cover of my book, but don't steal them when I'm trying to use them. I'm just kidding. Definitely hire Peaches because they're amazing. Thank you, Tammy.
Yes, that's very cool of you, Tammy. Yeah, we got awesome viewers here. So Daria Lithium_peaches. That's a good name. Francis, you can create he could create a Fref. Fref is the ship name of me and Francis that our viewers came up with, by the way, folks, if you don't know.
That's the problem. I can't create a website in general, so I have to hire somebody to do it. Right, Matt?
Matt just tuned in at the very Matt's going to be on our show, I think, 2 weeks from now as a guest.
Matt knows.
But you made it at the very end, Matt, so glad to see you here.
Matt knows.
You can go back and watch it since you missed all the stuff, but if you want. So again, if you are watching in post, thank you so much. If you're in the live chat, thanks guys. We appreciate all your chatting there and your suggestions for our games. Again, big thanks to Kaedyn. We'll be back next Wednesday, 11. Nope, not the old time. Sorry. Well, that's a really old time. I haven't done that in a long time. But for like 7 years, we did 11 p.m. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. That's the time we do it.
During the Kaedyn years, I'm sure.
Yes, it was 11 then, back when Kaedyn was originally on.
Exactly.
So please tune in then. We do this geeky stuff every week, and we got a bunch of cool guests lined up next few weeks. Victor says, take care all. I'm currently looking for wife number 6. Oh, good. Please work on your next pickup line.
Use that.
Yes, you need to work on those pickup lines.
Maybe by next week, he'll already have found it and divorced her.
Oh, God.
But thanks, Victor. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it very much. Until next time, stay geeky, everybody. Bye.